Good morning, Coffee Chat with Ann Payton. I have a very special guest here. I used to work with her, and that's Angie Grooms. And Angie, what is your specific title?
I am the agency director here at the Hannah Center and Hannah House.
And the Hannah House, wonderful. Well, I thought it very necessary to get some information out about this nonprofit. I did work here and spent some time on the board, and I attended their gala last week, which was just wonderful. This is a ministry that is near and dear to my heart. And so I want all of you out there, my audience, to learn a little bit about the Hannah Center and the Hannah Maternity Home. So Angie, why don't you give us some information about what goes on here at the Hannah Center?
So the Hannah Center is actually the umbrella that's over the Hannah House and the other programs that we have. The Hannah Center on this side, in this building where we're sitting right now, we do material support. So it's for anyone in the community that needs diapers and clothing and any basic essentials for their baby, and maternity items and children's items up to about age 6 or 7.
Gotcha.
So up to kindergarten age. So we want to have that message that we're not just helping newborn babies, but we're helping coming alongside women and families to help them to know that they can do it. So we help with the material support. We help with we do pregnancy testing and counseling. We do parenting classes, childbirth classes, and we have doulas. You probably heard at the gala, we focused on that part of our program, where we had Christy and Catherine, who are our doulas. They do labor support. So they're with the women from throughout their pregnancy and at the hospital during labor, just working with the doctors and just being their advocate, helping them in any way that they can, support the support person as well as they do after birth, postpartum visits as well, and work with them after the baby's here. So we want to help on every level that we can for childbirth and maternity and parenting help. A lot of times people think that a pregnancy center like ours just focuses on just having them during pregnancy and have the baby born, and then we're done with our services. Right. But we want them to know that we care about the mother. We care even when there's loss involved, that we're still here to support, even when there's parenting challenges, that it's part of showing that they can do it. We're with them every step of the way. So we do parenting classes. This room that we're in right now, it looks different than when you were here.
Yeah, it does. It looks nice.
We remodeled it and made it a little more comfortable. We used to have a table in the middle for our classes, like a board meeting table. But since we've started focusing so much on childbirth and doula services, Christy and Catherine both said, well, we need something more comfortable for them. So they have these little rubber balls that they sit on during childbirth classes somewhere. And then the comfortable couches and just this nice setup. It's a really nice setup for our classes and for parenting as well. And so we have some of our classes are on video, and then some just environments. We have support groups and just helping them really connect with each other, as well as giving them some extra support.
Do you still have, I know back a long time ago when I was here, I took one of your Bible studies, which was post-abortion Bible studies. Do you still do some of that as well?
Yes, we definitely, in our intakes, when people come in, we do an intake with them, find out kind of what they need and tell them about our services. And that's one of the programs that we do offer. A lot of times we don't have somebody that openly wants to have that, but we want to make sure they know that we offer it. We have Christy, who's our the childbirth educator and our client service director. She has a lot of experience in that area as well, and we've done some one-on-ones with people, but the group, we'd love to have that started. Any summer we have people interested. So we definitely want the post-abortion side of that to be an emphasis.
Yeah, I know when I went through that here at Hannah Center, even though I had gone through my own therapy and counseling, just going through that post-abortion Bible study just took me one step higher of understanding what my feelings were. And it was just really, really a great time for me. And so anyhow, I think that's very important. So if I was a lot younger than what I am now and got pregnant and just didn't know what to do. I know when I first got pregnant, I just didn't know what to do. But I was blessed to have family support to help me get through some of this. So I could literally get pregnant and come here, and you do the testing and you do the counseling and take it all the way through until the baby is ready for kindergarten. And that's help for the baby and the family and the mother.
It's that a lot of times the people who come in that need counseling about options, most of the time, and I know part of your story, I know that that's the case for you too. A lot of times when people come in to have their pregnancy test and they feel conflicted about what to do, it's very rarely ever that they just don't want to have a baby and they're just nonchalant about it. It's almost always with tears in their eyes, feeling like they just don't have options, they don't have the resources, they feel pressure from family or the father of the baby, or just from circumstances. They just feel like they have no choice. So that's usually the person that comes in that makes the decision to have an abortion, is usually not because they just want to have an abortion and they just are using it like birth control. There are a few people that have that. It's like, I'll just have an abortion. But almost everybody who comes in, they really, truly do not want that. They feel conflicted. They feel lack of options. And so our counseling isn't pushing anything on them, but to help them to make that decision outside of that pressure, where they are making the decision knowing what resources they have available, knowing they don't have to make the decision just because they don't feel like they have the financial resources, or they don't have a place to live, or they don't have any support. But once we can talk through kind of what their obstacles are, that could help them to make a decision that they can do. They can make the decision without regret. And if they still choose abortion, at least they know that they came to that themselves and not just without thinking through it and talking through it. And that they know that they have support even after the fact. We don't do guilt or shaming if they make that choice, but we just have seen that so many people make the choice just because they don't feel like they have another option.
Right. It's the fear of the unknown, and in times maybe you parents have told you just to get out. And I can only imagine what that fear does to trying to make a good decision and honor yourself, but you're thinking,
Right.
So
we want to come alongside and say, you can do it. And we can't really do that if we're not, kind of putting actions into it. And
right.
We don't want to just say, you can do it, and then just leave them or help them get to where they have the baby and then just leave them. But help them through parenting challenges. I think Tina used to always say, you probably remember that, it was like, if we save a baby from abortion, but we lose him or her to child abuse and neglect, what have we gained?
Right.
And so that's why we want to have, parenting classes and support so that we're helping them to not be in kind of over their heads. And we help with, if somebody's thinking about adoption, we help with that. We don't push that on them, but that is an option that some women have made a very brave choice to be able to place for an adoption. Others, we've just helped with, they need to find housing, they need some financial help a little bit. With our material support, they can come in every week and get diapers and feeding supplies and clothing and pretty much anything they need, the big items. If they start early in the pregnancy, they'll get a crib and stroller and pretty much everything by the time the baby comes. And it just takes a lot of pressure off where they're not feeling like they're doing everything alone.
Right. I mean, that's the hardest part, thinking that you have to do everything alone. Now, in your parenting classes, that also includes the dads?
Yes, we encourage the dads to come to the childbirth classes and the parenting classes, as long as, if the mom wants them to be here, if it's a safe situation, they're involved as a parent at all, we encourage them to come. And we have some dads that come on their own without having the mom here either. So we definitely want dads involved. Yeah, that's an important part with the parenting. We have a baby basics parenting class where we teach the basics of diapering and swaddling and safe sleep, just pretty much everything about newborns. And then we have, currently our program is called active parenting, and it's from basically newborn or before birth all the way up to kindergarten age. So it has to do with, bonding with the child and teaching gentle parenting and positive parenting instead of negative. So bringing out praise and positive rewards, building their self-esteem, just how to deal with tantrums and just all of the things that come in to play when you have children, just those early years.
Yeah. When you said that, some memories came flooding.
All of us, yes. Yes, and it's important to learn how to deal with that, because
it will happen.
It will, and sometimes parents either give in to tantrums or they meet them with just yelling, being harsh. So if you're too harsh or too lenient, either way, it can encourage more tantrums.
Right.
If you just give in, they think, oh well, this works, and then I'm sure you've all met adults that still have pretty much adult tantrums, because that's how they never learned how to not have them. So
exactly.
as parents, we have to figure out how to best handle that when they're two, so that as they learn how to communicate properly, that they're not just having tantrums the rest of their life.
That's not funny, but it is funny. I'm sorry.
We all know people.
Yeah. So, well, Angie,